Allez, allez, Thibaut Pinot, bienvenue to the Lanterne Rouge cycling podcast for the Groupama FDJ. I mean, Benji, you know, he said I do a French intro because this is the blue and white French team. They got some red on the jersey. Groupama FDJ 2024 preview. A year of change, a year of turnover, some turmoil as well internally, and two of their sort of heads of state riders departing, Thibaut Pinot and Arnaud Démare. But how was their season, Benji? Because from my perspective, it was pretty lackluster.
First of all, I do need to say you didn't need to put your heart in that intro. No French national anthem, nothing like that. So I guess we're going to have to do it with that. But if we talk about...
Allons enfants de la patrie, le jour de gloire est arrivé. I only know the first two lines of the national anthem, La Marseillaise, and then I'm done.
That is the heart I was talking about.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway.
I'm now ready to be hired to be in the team car.
You're already being called by Madio at the moment. French panache? Yes. Anyway, talking about panache.
I do drink beer sometimes as well, so it's no problem.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I do.
Facts. Pinot 15 GC at the Giro. Gaudu 9th and Pinot 11th at the Tour de France in GC. Martinez wearing red at the Vuelta. Is it me, or have they not accomplished much more than that in Grand Tours this year? Because when it comes to actual stage wins, Pinot lost from Rubio and the other dude. Pinot lost from himself on one stage towards the end of the tour.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you forgot the Zana one as well. But that was where he was kind of cementing his GC position. So that one was actually, he just wrote, that was Persil. And then there was the, I mean, I think there might be something wrong with me, Benji. You know, and I often think...
You think?
Yeah. I think, because like, with the Pinot stuff this year, I can understand why everyone's like behind it. I understand the romanticism. I understand people being like, what a way, a send-off. All I'm doing, and this is kind of indicative of how I view a lot of his career, all I was doing was thinking, fuck man, you could have won that stage. If you just, and it kind of actually was emblematic to me of a lot of his career, because I don't think, and still now, like, people don't realize how good Pinot was physically in 2023. He was an unbelievable level rider. He top 5 the Giro without trying. Without trying. Like, he obviously came in good level, but I mean, like, he backdoored it, of course, but top 5 Grand Tour without, like, it being, and won the Climbers jersey. Then the Tour de France, 3rd week, bang, strongest in the breakaway, by far. Could have won it. And all I was thinking was, man, I wish he just calmed down and sat with that group, because there's, you know what's more romantic than being solo through that crowd, Benji? Winning the stage. Well, maybe it's not. I don't know. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a cold-hearted person who can't see the joy in life. But yeah, I think Thibaut Pinot actually is underrated. Is that possible?
Ooh.
I think he's people treat him like he's
a puppy,
not as good as he was.
Yeah, I agree. It's like throughout Pinot's career, he's built this phenomenon of he's a solid rider, but he's never as good as like the others he's competing against. He's always the underdog in a situation, in a race.
But he wasn't. Pre-COVID, his climbing data is better than everyone.
Yeah. That's the thing.
He was so good.
In 2023, he just chose for showing himself off to the audience, which I don't hate, instead of ultimately trying to get that stage win, that extra stage win. That might also be
I think
epic.
He was trying to win the stage, though. I think he just wanted to go first through the segment with his fans, to be honest. I don't think he thought he could win the stage. Or maybe he fought it, but it was an epic moment for the fans, so I won't take it away from them. He can do what he likes. It makes no difference to me, but That's just what I think. I think sometimes the narrative is that Pinot was, like you said, the underdog or whatever. But actually, Pinot was and still is an incredible rider, and he's not old either. He's a young man. Like, he's 33 years old. But pressure, and we'll talk about that with Martinez and Gregoire. Like, I'm not surprised he is retiring. I'm not criticizing his retirement. I'm just saying physically he's still a good rider. Yeah. But I'm not surprised he is retiring because huge amount of pressure on him for the last decade. And he leaves. And he was, in fact, their highest point scorer this year, which
not shocking
over 2,000 UCI points.
The man was performing. Gaudu underperformed outside of Paris-Nice. Like, Gaudu being fourth at Etsulia, second at Paris-Nice, those are good results for David Gaudu. But at the Tour de France, getting 9th, that's a result. He's basically Guillaume Martin without philosophy in that race. So I reckon they expect more from Gaudu at that race. And they also lose Demar as a consequence of the relationship between Gaudu and Demar, is how I feel about it. So Gaudu has even more pressure on his head because of that fallout with Demar. No? I reckon that's the case, at least.
Yeah, I think so. And ultimately, sorry, I was just having a bite of food. Ultimately, they sold out Demar for Gaudu. There wasn't really any... They didn't really make any public statements about it, but they clearly picked a side. It was David Gaudu because Demar didn't go to the Tour. So they picked a side. It didn't work out. Pinot kind of saved their Tour, or did save their Tour, at least image-wise. Like, he was still good, and there was some sponsor value, particularly in that Alsace stage. So, but Gaudu only came 9th because Kuss crashed. Kuss was in 9th. So he was behind a Domestique. And he just wasn't competitive. And it's also like there's 9th and then there's 9th. Like, where was he? 23 minutes back.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you finished 23 minutes back, then probably you guys could have taken Miles Scottson and Demar. I'm not sure it would have made too much difference. So ultimately that was the wrong decision, clearly. And that was evident before the Tour de France and obviously evident on the scoreboard now. And also culturally, I don't think they handled it too well. And I think the way Demar's won a lot of... Is he the rider that's won the most races for the team ever?
I reckon it's probably the case. Like, he's won quite a lot of races for this team. And he was there already when Buhani started leaving. So I reckon he's won the most races for this team. But it's also like... They have their performance at Grand Tours. They have those 1 week results like Pinot getting 5th at Romandie in addition to the ones we mentioned already. Kung winning a TT at Swiss. Only 2 World Tour victories of 19 races, one of which is that TT with Kung. And the other one is Madouas winning Plouay as a one-day race. Madouas getting 2nd at Strade next to that. Kung 5th at Roubaix. Madouas 5th at LBL. Kung 6th at RVV. I think the main light point for this team is their youngsters. Gregoire winning 2 races. Martinez winning a race plus wearing red at the Vuelta for a portion of the race. Then those are the future of the team. But what's their situation like when it comes to UCI points? If we take a look at Groupama as a team, how worried should they be? Should they be racking up? Okay. Then that's not necessary. They've got time to focus on their youngsters.
French circuit, brother.
Yeah. They've got time to focus on their youngsters, right?
Yeah, they got double the points of Arkea, and they're in 7th. So they're actually above Jaco and Bora and Alpecin Phoenix, like Alpecin de Koenig, which is kind of comical, to be honest. But Alpecin also scored 0 GC points every year, so it's also not that surprising. But yeah, in terms of points as well, like Kung was their 2nd rider, Madouas their 3rd. They were also over 2,000 UCI points. Gaudu was their 4th best rider on 1,500. Gregoire already their 5th best in terms of points on 1,100, and Martinez their 6th best. So the young guys are already performing somewhat. For Neopros, that's a very good return.
If Gaudu and the team are serious about Gaudu's GC bid, and are actively keeping sprinters out of their Grand Tour team for Gaudu, then he should be the first UCI point scorer on the team. He should be an actual podium candidate before you think of getting a sprinter outside of your team. And the fact that the management didn't see that shows me a lack of, I don't know how to say, competence? No, a lack of taking the emotions out of the decisions.
Well, just not evaluating the team you have and the best way to actually win a stage, which I would say is pretty important for any team winning a Tour de France stage. So, but Madouas was certainly very good in one-day races. He and Kung are a very good 1-2 punch. The problem is they don't have a guy that can sprint. Maybe Pithy can become that guy, I would hope, my Antipodean colleague, but they're missing a finisher, because even when Kung does get in a group with Pedersen, with even Degenkolb or whoever, they can't sprint. So it's tough to win. It's really, really tough to win. And that's what the really big thing is. The points are fine. 2 World Tour wins is not good enough. 1 World Tour sort of non-TT win. Even 19 wins is probably not good enough. You compare that to Bahrain, it's 12. I know they say they have a low budget, and I'm sure they do. They also do have advantages in terms of stability and structure, and French riders to pick from, like Gregoire and Pinot and Gaudu and Demar, who are all very, very talented, a lot of talented French riders. So, but still, they're not the biggest budget in the world, but neither is Bahrain. And Bahrain won 12 World Tour races this year and in all 3 Grand Tours. So, yeah, it's something to be improved on, but also when you look at their incomings from last year, it's not a surprise, I guess, because every single rider was from the dev team, from their incomings. Is there anything else to say about their year this year that we missed?
Not really, just the focus on the fact that the youngsters are going to be a big part of their future, and that's also a bit shining through in their 2024 transfers. The outgoing transfers, obviously, the Mar going, including in that Miles Scottson, lead out. Pinot and Ladagnou are retiring. Bruno Armirail is going to Decathlon, Desert, which Armirail was a solid rider, was a solid domestique.
No, save that money. Let him go.
I'm okay with him going, but I do like an Armirail. I will say that.
No, good rider. But
Jake Stewart leaving, he was talented, but it never really came out. As in, he was stagnating a little in my head. And then we see Bram Welton, the so-called lead out for Demar, also going, although I didn't really see the greatest lead outs either.
We'll need Luke's scouting report on him.
Yeah, we need Luke's scouting report.
Luke,
Michael Storm,
Zylard or Bram Welton, who's better? He'll let us know in the chat. Dutch lead out, boys. Zylard, he says immediately, all right.
Michael Storer going to Tudor. And I feel like Storer...
That's the strange one, no?
It was always like a mistransfer from the start in my head. I never really saw that.
He was good for them. I guess I was watching Tour de Limousin where he and Gregoire, I guess it's kind of a bit like...
Bruh.
Well, it's a nice race, man.
Like, I feel like he was a domestique role for Gaudu in Grand Tours, and he performed that in certain Grand Tours. In some Grand Tours, he just wasn't necessarily in the form that he was in at DSM. But I expected more from Storer. I expected him more at the forefront, because at DSM, he was fucking good.
Yeah, in the Vuelta in 21, he was literally got in the break every day and stomped everybody. Like, didn't even just 60k to go, boop, see ya. Like, rode away from Sivakov and Haig, who came third in the Vuelta from, like, serious rides. So you're right. It's like, I'm like, yeah, he did some nice lead outs in Tour de Limousin on a medium mountain, but, like, maybe they were expecting him to... Although I think they did sign him after his Tour de la GC win before those Vuelta stages. But yeah, he goes maybe on more money to Tudor, who obviously probably do have decently deep pockets. And that's, so there is the Demar and Pinot outgoing money. That's got to be 3 mil minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum 3 mil combined. Yep. Like, actually, they're worth more, but maybe, but I don't know exactly. Yeah.
I reckon it's 3, roughly, probably a bit more. But it's also like, you look at these outgoing transfers and I'm like, I can live without most of them leaving the team except Pinot and except Demar.
Can they not get Pinot back for one last run?
Come on. Like a few years, like not even one last run. Just get him for another 7 years. Sign a 7-year contract with Pinot. I'm down. But anyway, like incoming transfers. Marc Sarraut, he's back. The GOAT. The Poitou-Charentes GOAT is back. So a bit of a sprinty type, but no, like a D-Tech sprinter is how I'd classify him. Matthew Walls, I'd classify him as a D-Tech sprinter too at the moment. Because he had better sprints.
He's replacing Stewart, I think.
I think so too. Bistrom coming from Intermarché. He's a solid rider, solid domestique, but I don't see him moving the needle necessarily. Rémi Rocha coming from Cofidis. I like Rémi Rocha. I think he's a solid domestique, but I also feel like he's just a French circuit man.
Mid as fuck.
Rémi Rocha is a good transfer for the French circuit in my head.
Yeah. I like in those little those Jura races. Yeah. Okay.
Cyril Bart, Rousseau, and Louis Toos. And then I think about this entire fucking incoming transfers, and I think,
where's the World Tour wins, brother?
Where's anyone? Like, nothing's going to change. They're just going to get worse.
Like, I presume the goal is to win more.
Yeah. It's as if they just want to add more riders surrounding their young talent they already have, which they're betting on.
Yeah, and I think that the plan is to be around Gregoire, Martinez, and Gaudu. The difference is this. They don't have him in. Year. Well, first of all, he's not French, and second of all, he's not been as good as those three.
Samuel Watson
immediately. Yeah, I mean, maybe. The difference to last year's transfers is that last year they signed only guys from their Conti development team. And I actually was really high. I thought it was great. I was like, what a system. They got the dev team. They got these absolute studs coming in and already they performed. That was fantastic. So this year it is a little bit, they're kind of getting the musical chairs of guys from other French teams or even Francophone teams, if I can sneak Bistrom in there. They got Walls, who I don't mind because they're buying low. And he was good in 21. Like he was good in 2021, so I don't mind Walls. Especially he's going to be cheaper than Stewart, I would think. So I think that's not too bad. But yeah, it's like, where's the money they're saving on Demar and Pinot going? Is it going to an
extensions? Maybe.
So are they using they're building a kitty next year so they can afford to keep Gregoire and Martinez?
I would expect that, but it's also like there's also riders on the Cyril Barf. Sorry, but it's not a World Tour rider.
Yeah, it is like not.
Every French rider with one leg can get a World Tour contract at this point.
Like, wouldn't you rather Gabregs as just a dedicated, pay him 80 grand and he'll just ride as a domestique for Gaudu, no questions asked, all year?
But his name is not Gabregs. Otherwise, he would be in this team.
Like, he would add value. I don't know what he's doing. So,
he's not in World Tour anymore, I reckon.
I mean, if they don't have the money, they don't have the money. But also, there's other guys for the same money. If you look around, who are better than these guys. These got a lot of these guys are like, get him back, and whatever. So yeah. What do we think for next year, Benji? The Cobble Classics.
Ooh. So, Kung, Madouas, Watson, Vignettes are the names that come in my head.
Pithy.
Maybe, Pithy. Maybe a Matthew Walsh for like a Kuhne and so forth, those type of races. Yep. Hill Classics, I'm thinking Madouas, Gregoire, Vignettes, and Pacher and so forth. Maybe Gaudu for LBL as well. But Madouas top 5 LBL. Goat.
Gregoire Tour of Flanders?
I'd like to see him try the maybe opening weekend first. Nah, not really fitting. Brabantse shoots in my head as something he can win.
Yeah.
RVV
Okay.
is hard. I don't see it yet.
Fair enough. Where are you at on your boy Paul Penway?
Sprinter? I don't see I don't know, like maybe the Les Samins of the world together with the French 1.1 classics combined with maybe he's the one that goes to these Kuurne Schelde prizes instead of a Matthew Walls, for example. Like,
Ooh, I'll be
both
sending
an option.
Watson and Pithy before him. Olivier Legac's good actually as well. We've disrespected him. Legac is good. In the classics, I quite like him.
But like, what are realistic results in the classics for this team?
Oh, ASCII as well. ASCII, sorry. I've jumped in again. Yeah.
Agree.
Realistic results. It would be good to podium 3 of the 7 Cobble Classics as a stretch goal. That's tough, but
yeah, I reckon you should try that. But it's going to be a hard one.
Podium 2 is tough.
Madouas's goal is trying to win one.
Yeah, so
he's likely to end up on the podium instead. Like, he podiumed Strade.
He should target Dwars-Door. Dwars-Door, like, fully target that, I think.
And Strade, I think.
Yeah.
Depends on who's there next to him, though. I don't remember who's going.
Gregoire's got to do Strade.
Yep. Combination of those two. I reckon that's really good. Then the Grand Tours for a second. I would expect Gaudu and Madouas are going to the Tour de France. But who the hell is going to the Giro and the Vuelta then? I'd say Gaudu goes Tour Vuelta. But Jesus Christ, man. Where's
Giro?
Martinez going and Gregoire?
Martinez can't TT.
Yeah. Martinez Tour de France, I reckon.
Yep, why not? Yep, send Martinez to the Tour.
And Gregoire?
I'll send Gregoire to the Giro. I'll send, Gaudu to the Giro.
Gaudu to the Giro? No, don't see it happening.
Why?
Because they chose him over Demar, so now they're going to go all bonkers on Gaudu to try and make it happen. What is it called? When you're losing out on something, sunk cost fallacy. It might still, like, he might still top 7 at Tour de France. It's a Tour de France with limited TT kilometers, I reckon. Yeah,
you're right.
Gaudu Tour de France is on page for me.
Kung has to do the Giro, right? Isn't he got to do Van Aert's schedule?
I think yes.
And he's going to try to do the Olympics and World's TT. So yeah, I think Kung should do the Giro then with the TTs. Honestly, they can send a good team to the Giro. Like, they can win a stage. Like, if you send Pacher, Lars van den Berg, who's actually quite good, Gregoire, Geniet type guys to the Giro or Sven-Erik Bistrom, and you target the right stages, I'm convinced they are capable of winning a stage. They are good riders who are good on those in breakaways.
I'm somewhat feeling Gregoire Tour de France vibes.
So Gregoire, Martinez, Gaudu, Tour de France.
Yeah. Madouas.
Who's the leader, brother? Madouas as well.
Yeah. I'm doing
that poor bastard.
I'm seeing it. Because, like,
do they let Madouas have a go on the gravel stage?
Depends on the state of the race. I don't
Surely
expect
they will. Like, let him or
though.
Kung or whoever go for the gravel stage. Come on.
When it comes to Giro, I'm also thinking like Piffy and Thompson, for example.
Yeah.
Because they won't have a chance to go to the Tour at this team in the near future.
No.
So Giro was the thing you would think of, together with a sprinter in the name of Walls or something, with maybe Watson as well in there. Like
Enzo Polani, he's French, but his name's Italian.
Ghermani is going to the Giro, he's Italian, so
yeah,
that's why they got him.
I know, they got some good young riders. I'm sure they can cobble together a decent enough Giro team to actually...
Cobble together?
Yeah, they're not...
Is that a new verb? To cobble together?
Yeah, that's a verb. It is.
That's very... I'm proud of that as a Belgian.
Classics, they'll be there or thereabout. And yeah, they might not get the big win. And then we might sit here a year from now and say, oh, what a shitty year they had. But then we look at their points and they scored a lot of points. And it's because they were competitive in a lot of the classics. So that's probably not shown up on the scoreboard all the time. Tour de France, yep, they'll be going top. I'm sorry, but top 10's not good enough. Top 5 is the goal with Gaudu. You can't say our top 10. He already came 4th, no? So, he already came 4th.
I agree.
Isn't it podium?
5 is the aim. Podium was the aim this year, apparently, but
I think that'll be the goal again.
I think he's not good enough for podium. He's simply not good enough.
Evidently not.
5
but
is the potential best.
Yeah. And then Vuelta. To be honest, the Vuelta suits him really well. I'd love for him to also do the Hill Classics and skip the Tour and do the Vuelta, but that probably won't happen. I don't think
see it either.
he's also
combination.
He's also
Hill
quite.
Vuelta.
He'd be good in the World Championships parcours. I would like to see a lot of these French riders targeting that.
Gregoire World Champion?
I'd hope to see it, yeah. I'd love to see it. All right. World Tour wins, Benji, for this team. It's got to be more than 2.
This is not a deep team, is it?
I mean, let me read out some names to you and say, is it realistic they can win a World Tour race? And now that I'm going to do this exercise, for sure one will win one, but Cyril Bart, Clément Davy, Lorenzo Germani, Conor Valavos, Eddie Lohet, Fabien Lienard, Rudy Millard, Pellegrini, even Lagac, frankly, Suro, Russo, Penway, Pellegrini, already said him. Like
Penway is good for this team for the future. I like Penway as a rider. His results are not bad.
I'm just saying there's a lot of these riders that can't really do much in World Tour competition. They have a big calendar, so they need riders to ride the French circuit, obviously. But
so
I think World Tour wins.
World Tour wins. They had 2 World Tour wins in 2023. They will have
no Demar, no Pinot.
Well,
who won 5 of their 6 World Tour wins in 2022?
How many World Tour wins were Pinot and Demar in 2023, my friend?
0, yeah, true.
I'm going for...
Demar didn't get sent to them.
I'm going for 4 World Tour wins. No, 5 World Tour wins.
Go for 2 again. No, I can't. I have to score more, right? Because I'm short on numbers. I'll go 4. I'll go 4.
The reason I go 5 is I believe Gregoire is going to win a stage.
Yeah, I think Gregoire wins some.
Martinez could win a World Tour race.
Yep.
Gregoire could even win 2. That's what I'm betting on.
For sure. You send to the right Basque Country finishes?
Romandy, Catalunya, Basque Country? They probably won't. Because let's be honest about it. Groupama and scheduling the riders for the correct race hasn't been the godlike thing in the last couple of years. I believe it's not impossible for Kung to win a World Tour race. Whether it's a stage, a TT, or it could even be a classic. He needs the right group dynamic to make it happen, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, not impossible.
And I'm betting on Gaudu realizing that GC in a certain race isn't happening, so going in the break and winning the stage.
Maybe.
Something like that. I think it's possible. 5 is good.
Yeah. You got 5. I got 4. I think... Do you think is the big question? This is almost more important than their wins this year. Do you think... I'll read out the riders that are out of contract. We're already thinking of next year's podcast. Lars Vandenberg, Pithy, Watson, Martinez, Genietz, Penway, Gregoire. And the big 2 are Martinez and Gregoire. Do you think they retain? You think they retain both of them?
Yes, I think they'll retain Penway as well. And outside of those 3,
I mean, H2R gave all the puncher money to Benoit.
I think Watson's leaving. I think Piffy might stay because like he hasn't really broken through yet in any way.
Not around here, partner.
So he'll require
Not around here.
He'll require a breakthrough to be able to have some more interest. Because let's be honest about it, if he was French, he'd easily find other teams. Because he's not French. So Laurent Pity sounds pretty French. If you like pretend he's French,
he ran like a 16:35K the other day.
I have no clue what that means, man. I don't run.
He ran a 5 kilometers and it's fast.
Genietz is probably staying. Long-time team member. Konevalles is retiring. Mollar's probably staying.
Oh, no, I mean the good ones.
Yeah, like, that's my view on the transfers.
You don't think AG2R or Total will come? I guess that these guys are unlucky that Alaphilippe hitting the mark at the same time as them.
Yeah. Lienhard goes to Tudor, by the way. That's my head.
Oh, yeah, Swiss, true. Yeah, but they got it. I mean, and that's probably, if you look at these transfers this year and like, where's all the money from Pinot and Demargon, it would make sense that they are building a pot of money to keep these guys when their Neopro contract expires at the end of 2023. Maybe they don't send them to the Tour, Benji. They do a tactical, we don't want you to win a Tour stage. Maybe they'll have to, if you want to go to the Tour, you got to sign this extension first. That sort of stuff also happens all the time as well. All right. Do we have any hot takes?
I think we do. Madouas will also win a World Tour race, so I'm also betting on that, by the way. But
okay,
I am saying it's difficult to hone down which races they will win.
Oh no, just hot takes. Like, does Mario get into a...
Martinez wins a Queen stage of the Tour de France?
Brother, that boy hits 2,500 kilojoules. He can't turn the cranks.
That's why they're hot. He needs to improve for it.
Yeah, true. It's a hot take. Okay, I grant it. Imagine he's about to win and then the fucking Vingegaard just flies past him in the last 50 meters. Oh, that'll be drama.
Romain Grégoire wins the first stage of the Tour de France and takes yellow.
What's the first stage? It's in
It
Italy,
is
no?
Never mind. I was looking at the 2023 parcours again. Was it 20? It's Monaco.
No, it's a Pancho one. It's in Italy.
Yeah, it's Rimini.
Yeah.
I don't see it, to be honest. I don't know. Well, how's this flat sprint? That's my issue with it. I don't know if it's flat sprint.
I don't know.
I don't really... Fuck it, he's doing it. It's happening. Like, there's no question about it. He's beating Pogacar in a 1-2-1 sprint.
I think they lose 3 of the 4 of Pithy, Watson, and Martinez Grégoire. I don't think they keep both Grégoire and Martinez. And I think they keep Martinez.
Is one going to Ineos or something?
They see him as a GC guy. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to think Grégoire is good.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I'm sure Tudor would like to have him. I'm sure Q365 would like to have him, or Bora, many other teams who, like, AG2R have Decathlon as a sponsor. Total Energy might not want to pay for a 30-year-old Alaphilippe and want to get the younger version.
Isn't there like a bit of a meh relationship between Age Desert and him? As in, he was on the Age Desert youth team, then dipped out to the Groupama youth team instead of staying in their structure? Is that not Grégoire?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just inventing drama, but...
Nah, Luke says yes. So, yeah, but now he's coming back. It's all good. If you pay me 2 mil. Happy families. So, I think that's going to be... It's going to be tough for them even with the money saved because there's 2 other French teams straight off the top of my head that have money. Total and AG2R. And then there's also other challenger teams like Israel, like Tudor, like Q36. And then there's the other big bad World Tour teams as well who will be looking at those guys all out of contract. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe Cofidis comes in and replaces Lafay with Gregoire. Who knows? I'm not sure that was a really hot take. I don't really have any others, Benji, because I was going to say, oh yeah, I'll go on. Lawrence Pithy wins Kona Brussels Kona, and and Ruben Thompson top 10s Romandy.
Is it like coincidental that both these riders are from the Oceanic region in this hot take
are also in the same season as me, perhaps? Lars van den Berg, he will top 10 Amstel Gold Race as well. Little fun fact for you.
Lars van den Berg.
I'll leave you with that one. While Benji pumps him into PCS, that was the Groupama FDJ preview. Let us know what you think. Was it too tough? It was probably a difficult season for them. Are there reasons to be hopeful for the future? How many races do you think they'll win next year? Who will be their best rider? Probably old Stefan Kung once again, I would say, who will finish second in both the Olympics and World's Time Trial. So until... is this our last preview?
This is not our last preview.
No, our last men's one?
No. We've got Astana and EF to record, my friend.
The GOAT teams. EF. Alrighty, fair enough. But until those marvelous previews, as well as some women's ones coming up as well, we'll see you then. Ciao.